That's the coolest part for me is open mic players, they want to play music more than they want to do anything else in their lives.
Just do it. Don't worry about what other people think about it. Like just get up there and make your songs heard.
You know, like every high school kid, when I started playing guitar, I had that dream, you know, I'll make it one day. And, you know, 41 years old. I'm almost 42. And
Right.
I have no delusions I'm going to be some grand rock star.
Being a gigging musician is a dream of a lot of people. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Open Mic. I'm Scott, your host, and in tonight's episode, we are actually part 2 of a conversation that I had with writer and director Kandi Krumins, who is the writer and director of her original musical called Midwinter Break, which is going to have its world premiere near the middle and end of March, right here in Waterford, Michigan. So without further ado, let's get back to the interview with Kandi.
Oh, the coolest thing was at the read-through.
Yeah.
When we were sitting around with like 26 people reading these things and hearing the laughter. And I'm like, this is kind of funny. And I was like, oh, I wrote this. I did all of it.
Yeah.
And it was almost kind of surreal.
When you put the kids' voices on and everything.
Oh, yeah. And the cast that we have, I'm just so geeked about.
Yeah.
You know, I wrote this with an imaginary person in mind. And I was waiting for an Auggie to show up, and he did.
And he did.
And
That's
he just
obviously
keeps
Noah.
getting better.
My name is Noah Babala. I'm a 7th grader at Mason Middle School in Waterford, Michigan. I play the role of Auggie Sommers.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about Auggie.
Auggie is a funny character. He loves being in the middle, other than his best friend Norman, who hates it. Is a court jester, plays as a girl, and is a cool dude. I think that's one thing that's going to be challenging is stepping out of myself and kind of doing like a love story with Juniper, because you have to kiss her hand. You have to kind of step out of yourself when you do stuff like that.
That's not you. You don't run around school kissing all the girls' hands and stuff.
No.
I'm guessing you don't run around school dressed in a dress or a court jester outfit or any of those things.
Yeah, so I'm really excited, and I think on top of that, it's going to develop a relationship between Carter, my son, who is Norman,
right,
and this boy who is like his match, and they're already have developed. It's like
they're coming together.
In real life, they're coming together, and they're making this happen. I can't wait to see them on stage.
On stage is going to be unbelievable.
The easiest part for me is my solo that I have, Mediocrity, which is one of my favorite songs, and also Walking Shoes.
2 sisters, one big and one little, middle school, Midwest town, stuck in the middle, it will bring a guy down. Oh, I'm making, ooh, I got the middle school blues.
It's a very fun character to play, but it's also very challenging, and you have to try your hardest.
Walking shoes. Let's take a walk, Auggie.
And there's nothing cooler in life, I think, than when you have an idea in your mind, and then when it comes alive, it's better than your imagination was.
Yeah.
There's very few things in life I have found that you can imagine or you fantasize about, but the reality actually
outdoes the fantasy.
And what I can see in this kid Noah, he's just a walking, talking. He's bringing it to life already.
See, I think right now what you're seeing with Noah and Carter, obviously you know Carter and Madison, your kids, obviously you know them better than anybody. Yeah. But with how excited you are about what Noah's bringing to life and seeing your project come to life because someone else is saying your words, I can't wait to see you 4 months from now when the show actually goes up and see what your reaction is going to be, where you're seeing it, but you're also having 100 or 200 other people in the audience seeing it, and you get to laugh and listen to what their reaction is to what you.
Oh, I'm terrified and excited
to what
at the
you
same
built.
time. But you know what? I'm growing. This is something totally new for me.
I'm Kandi Krumins. I'm from Kettering High School. I'm playing Juniper. Juniper is a super smart high schooler. She's a genius. She's going to astrogeology camp in the summer, and she has 2 best friends, Beth and Eve, and they basically do everything together.
Does she get to be smart the entire time?
No. In Norman's dream, she's actually pretty dumb for most of them.
So is that fun to play, or?
It's very fun to play because you get to switch characters. You get to be smart, and then you get to be really ditzy. Then you get to be in the middle.
So because it's for middle schoolers and, well, that age group anywhere from 10 to 15, 18 years old, something like that. You told me once that you were taking a stand against something. What's that?
Yeah, kids are kids, and I've spent a lot of time with middle schoolers. And I seem to, kids already feel a pressure to be something that they're not. And one of the worst things I've seen is when kids are pressured into, talented kids are asked to do things that are either beneath them or are too advanced for them. And there's a lot of inappropriate material that kids are asked to do, to be adult-like.
Mm-hmm.
I believe kids are capable of doing a lot more than, Disney shows are great, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the stuff that's written for kids is 90 minutes, shallower, childish type of things.
Right.
And there's middle schoolers are already lost as it is. They're not quite adults and they're not kids anymore, and they're capable of so much. And I haven't seen a whole lot of good stuff out there that is age appropriate for them. And I'm up for the challenge of trying to. I looked at this as a challenge of creating something that kids can do that's real,
mm-hmm.
age appropriate, and clean, and
Yeah.
hopeful for this age group
Right.
to do.
And it obviously sends a good message.
Yeah, and sends a good message. And you don't have to do adult filthy material to be an adult. I mean, there's so many things in society that says, like, you want to be an adult, you need to do this, you need to do that. If it's filthy, that means you've graduated.
Right.
It doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, the whole thing is pretty complicated.
Hey, we're smart. If we're smart enough for astrogeology camp, we should be smart enough to figure this whole guy thing out.
Right.
Because the kids are still kids, and they've got something to say.
Yeah.
And if I can help them put the words out on stage, and I've had a lot of help from my kids.
Yeah,
that have
well.
said, that have helped me with the script. I think there's something to be said that's real and it's warm, and it's appropriate for kids.
So with that, the dynamic between the kids and adult world or whatever, what made you, because obviously you've got kids and adults characters in the show, and you decided to completely kid cast it, where the teachers and stuff are.
So many talented kids come out that were in, young high schoolers and middle schoolers, that they could, not only could they handle a full-length show doing kid roles, they could handle the adult roles. And since it's a clean show, and it just seemed to work with all kids.
Yeah.
So we decided to go with all kids. I had to let go some incredibly talented
Adults.
Right. Which was a bummer.
Right. And you kept one adult, but he kind of looks young.
He looks like a kid.
He looks really young,
so,
and he's a talented guy, so he can actually handle a couple roles and stuff like that.
Well, in the beginning when I was cast, I haven't been on stage for quite some time, and I definitely wanted to get back in. I finished my degree, and I've got a job now, and now I have some time in the evenings to do some performing. I really didn't want to be in a kid show at first, and we're 2 weeks into rehearsals now, and I'm floored by how talented and how well cast these kids are. Most of them at this point in time are pretty off book. They on all the scenes that we do, they get some prompting and whatnot, but predominantly they're off book. They get the story, they know their lines pretty well, and I'm really impressed by that. In addition to that, they all have, like, as kids, you would maybe expect them to fumble with some of the music and whatnot. They all have great voices. They're just really, really super impressing me.
Mr. Thurston, it's so nice to see you. And I see you have brought a different lady with you this time. But do not worry, my lips are sealed. Your waitress will be with you, too sweet.
Yeah, so the two roles that I'm playing are completely different, whereas the grandpa is very, very confident, and Thurston, the science teacher, is not at all.
Now, I know acting-wise, that's easy to pull off, or not easy, but it's not like the craziest thing because you're just out there playing a character. But they both have solos that they have to sing.
They do.
How's that gonna be going for you?
We have made all of the grandpa songs low, so I'm singing in my lower register, and the 2 songs that Thurston sings are in the higher register. So hopefully we can keep the 2 different, being that maybe the grandpa is more of a bass and and Thurston is more of a baritone tenor range. So that's our plan to hopefully keep the 2 separated. Represent your generation, enemies are lurking, they'll hit you head on. Gotta know the plan, you need to bring your fight on.
What you gonna do with your life? When you gonna look for a wife? What? What's your passion? What drives you, boy? I don't know yet. I'm just a kid. What you gonna be? What you gonna do? You know what to keep it up, boy. What you gonna be? What you gonna do? How you gonna keep it up, boy? What you gonna be? What you gonna do? How you gonna keep it up, boy? You hear it? We hear it. Yeah.
All the rest are minors.
Yeah.
I've got 1 non-minor.
1 non-minor. Not just minors. What's the oldest kid in the cast other than Jeff? We got a 15.
15-year-old.
We go from what, 7 to 15?
Yeah.
Is that right? 7? Ayla, 8.
Yeah.
Layla's the youngest, right?
Yep.
At 8, and she's playing the
No, Layla's. Yeah.
food
She's
tester.
10.
Is she 10?
Pretty sure she's 10. No, she's 8. She looks
She's
like a
8.
10-year-old.
Yeah,
Okay.
she does. She does. Well, she acts like it. She sings like it. She's amazing. But
yeah, it's just so funny, and they've already risen to the occasion.
Yeah.
And it's just so it's coming together already.
Yeah, some of the life that the kids are bringing into it. Is there anybody that surprised you? Not anybody, and I don't mean that by like naming a name. I mean, is there any character that you saw a certain way when you were writing it, and then the first time you heard someone else read it, they're reading it completely different than what you expected?
You know, the first thing that comes to my mind that was a pleasant surprise at the read-through.
Yeah.
The room is filled with 26 kids that have no idea what's going on.
They're doing a cold read, basically, yeah.
Some of the kids had to wait to the second act to open up their mouth.
Right.
There wasn't a single voice that didn't sound like they were excited to be there.
Yeah.
And that rocked.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
Whether it was a guard talking or a servant, it sounded like everybody knew that they were going to be an integral part of making something really cool happen. And I got a feeling that they liked the show by the enthusiasm that I was seeing from people that couldn't speak until the second act.
Right, yeah.
And that was really cool.
I can see a time for you, something you can't see. All the great things that you are, they'll shine through you, wait and see. Little steps in the right direction, and if you fall, I'll help you through it all.
Well, there you have it. A few more minutes of the interview with writer-director Kandi Krumins. And as you know, on Open Mic, it's not just about songs. It's about anything independent, anything original that people are bringing to life. And hanging out with this cast and crew for last few weeks as we get through the rehearsal process. I'll keep you up to date on what's going on in the next couple weeks before we get closer to showtime. So thanks for joining in, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.